Hi there, I'm Tyler Baker from Foundries.io, and we're here to show you our Qualcomm Dragonwing demo wall.
What is a Dragonwing?
Dragonwing is our new corporate branding for our IoT and automotive and industrial processors.
You have a cool ARM-powered laptop?
I've got lots of cool ARM-powered stuff here to show you. So this is a HP OmniBook X using our Snapdragon X Elite processor. And what we're showing here is anything LLM, which has got a large language model that runs locally. And it's been trained on the Foundries.io data set, our documentation. So we can ask it questions and it will run on the MPU and give us responses back as a chatbot.
So what is Foundries.io's role in this?
Yeah, so this one is just kind of more of a fun project to kind of exercise the technology and show what the silicon can do. But from the Foundries perspective, we still do IoT device management. And so we work with the Qualcomm platforms that you see here and manage them and deploy containers on top of them. And then we work with AI workloads now a lot.
So is it
so let's talk about this. So this is a big one. This is the first time ever in the history of Qualcomm that we are doing open development on GitHub in the open, taking contributions from third parties. And so what we have here is this is the RB3 Gen 2, and this is a Qualcomm Dragonwing line of processors here. And this is running 416 RC5 kernel with no patches. So there's no proprietary software at all on this. We have camera working with libcamera, V4L2. We have the Fredrino GPU up. We have video decoding working. We have Firefox web browser. It's a fully functional Linux system, completely built from upstream sources. So we have that for Debian, but we also have that for Yocto. And again, this is all being developed in GitHub right now. So if you go to github.com/Qualcomm-Linux, that's our org on GitHub. You can find the Debian images there. You can build them yourself. You can modify them. You can also find all the source code for Yocto, and you can build and try these things out. We're going to be supporting the whole line of upcoming Qualcomm processors, obviously in those repos. And then here we have our Qualcomm Linux Release 1.3, and this is running the Foundries software. And we've deployed an Edge Impulse IMDK AI app. So Edge Impulse was just acquired by Qualcomm, and we've used their tool to basically create a model, acquire data, train the model, and deploy the model all with the Foundry system here.
So that's a big deal to get all this working, no?
It's a lot of work, yeah. And I mean, anybody's worked on a Qualcomm platform before, the tooling can be hard to use. It may be difficult to get a hold of some of the information. We're working inside of Qualcomm to improve that so that we can start to service the broader markets outside of mobile.
Because Foundries.io is part of the Qualcomm.
That's right. We're part of the Qualcomm family. We're a wholly owned subsidiary of Qualcomm. We still do our software. We still operate our platform. We're still a wholly owned independent entity of Qualcomm.
And you support all the platforms, right?
That's right. Absolutely. And
you're not slowing down in terms of how many platforms have supported.
No, and absolutely not. I mean, it's all about customer demand. Where we see the customer demand is where we will follow. And obviously, we believe that the Qualcomm lineup here has a lot of value for customers. And so that's going to be continued. And I think, what you'll see in the future here is all of the advanced technology that Qualcomm offers going to be integrated into the Foundry system.
Is there the Dragonwing happening with the X Elite, the latest X Elite stuff?
So that's a Snapdragon brand. So it's a business to consumer brand is Snapdragon. A business to business brand is Dragonwing. So if you buy from Qualcomm as a business and you want to build a product, that's what you're going to call. That's why it's called Dragonwing. But on a consumer devices like this, it's going to be a Snapdragon.
And that's a different department in the company?
It's just a marketing brand so that it's consumers can understand, what they're buying and who they're buying it from. It's all still coming from Qualcomm. But yeah, I think Manchester United is sponsored by Qualcomm, but it's actually Snapdragon, right? Because that's the consumer's facing brand. And now we're just building out a brand here.
And do you run Linux on this?
Oh, would you like to see it?
Do you do that?
Yes, absolutely. Hold on a second here.
So can you describe what Linux you do?
Yeah, so Ubuntu has created a kind of a preview image. And so you can go download that and we'll go ahead and just reboot it here. And yeah, they've been doing a really good job of taking all the patches that are hitting the mailing list and bringing them into the distro kernel, applying them, and creating workable systems. So there's a whole bunch of X Elite laptops that are being supported on Ubuntu, and we'll kind of show you how this works. So what happens when you install it, it's going to install the Grub bootloader, and then you'll still be able to get to the Windows boot manager as well. You have to do that because you want to be able to dual boot Windows and Linux systems all in the same laptop here. So what you'll see is Grub will come up, and if you look here, there's Windows Boot Manager, but then there's also Ubuntu. So let's go ahead and boot Ubuntu.
And how good is it?
It's really good. Wait till you see this. So this is an IPS screen. The scaling factor looks great on this display. So the only thing that doesn't work currently right now is the camera and audio. The patches for audio are about to land, so we'll have audio working, and then camera's not too far behind it. So let's go ahead and log in.
Are you at the Foundries IO involved with helping this part?
Yeah, I mean, so we've obviously been in the conversations and helping guide here. I mean, this has mostly been Canonical that's been putting this together. But again, I want to stress it's a community effort. A lot of people are pitching in outside of just the Canonical community to help enable these laptops. So we're involved, but a lot of other people are involved as well.
And how could you be even more involved in that project?
Yeah, so go check it out. There's a discourse page for this Ubuntu build, and if you go through there, there's a whole bunch of Launchpad issues for the different Snapdragon X Elite laptops that we have. So there's like the Surface laptop, the T14S from Lenovo, the HP OmniBook. I think there's an HP Yoga as well that's there. So there's about, I think, 5 or 6 X Elite laptops that actually run this Ubuntu build. And so we're going to continue moving forward. We're going to continue doing updates. This is currently running the 6.14 kernel as well.
Is good on it?
What's that?
The Freedreno is good on it?
Freedreno is, well, yeah, on this one, Freedreno is running on this one and on both of these two as well. So again, this is very much upstream software as well. And so the upstreaming that Qualcomm has been doing, and then also Lenaro as well, we're actually being able to realize it here. So that's the story we want to bring, is that we want to have all this great downstream enablement, but also have a really good upstream story, because that's what's going to sustain.
And it shouldn't be far away from it's not far from doing the camera and the
on
sound.
audio. Yeah, I mean, I think Wi-Fi, the Atheros chip works on this. Your touchscreen actually works on this as well. So I mean, there's pretty much everything is working outside of camera and audio. And again, I think in just a few weeks, all those issues will be fixed, and then you'll have a fully enabled.
Because we all want to have a Qualcomm-powered Linux laptop that is in full performance. Like on the level of whatever Mac.
100%. We all, I mean, this is our dream too, right? We would prefer not to use Macs. We would prefer to use something like this, and we're getting very close.
But it's pretty awesome that they're doing so much ARM stuff. The Apple guys.
This is fantastic. I mean, the whole world's going ARM. How long have we been talking?
Everybody's
right?
understanding that it's the best way.
Over the last decade, I think we've seen a notable shift here, and I think it's great to see these as alternatives in the market over x86 variants, and it seems to be everybody's very, very pleased with the power efficiency they're getting out of them as well.
Could you describe some more stuff that's happening at Dragonwing?
Yeah, so we have the IQ9 series, which is the 9075, which is a much more powerful processor and MPU. So I think it's got 2 MPUs on it rather than 1 on 6490, and these will be used for what they call like edge AI boxes, right? Where you want to do a whole bunch of inference on the edge, and you want to have a lot of horsepower and memory and flash for the large language models that you may use, or any of the larger trained models out there for object detection. So a lot of the use cases we see there are like NUC type form factors, but then it's consuming a whole bunch of video streams and running the AI models on top of those video streams and providing alerts.
Is DeepSeek, is that open source?
I'd have to look at it if it's open source. I know that the model has been ported to run on the Snapdragon X Elite laptops, and we see very, very good performance out of that.
They don't completely show how they made it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm not too familiar with it.
Some document somewhere. I'm just joking a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, but so there's a lot of work in running AI models.
Yes. Yes, so I think that's a big, big thing that Qualcomm is interested in. Obviously, I mentioned earlier the acquisition of Edge Impulse, right? This was the missing piece in my mind that Qualcomm didn't have. If you've ever used like AWS SageMaker or Vertex AI from Google, what you find is that you can train a model, but then how you optimize and quantize it and package it for these embedded platforms is still really difficult. And I really believe that Edge Impulse has solved that problem, both on microcontrollers and even on the application Linux processors that we have as well. So we're really excited to work with them. And again, this is what you're seeing here. This is a containerized IM SDK, so that's an intelligent multimedia SDK from Qualcomm, which is like a GStreamer pipelines put together. So it's using the high-speed camera software from Qualcomm, and then using the AI QNN, which is the Qualcomm neural network APIs, and that's all being kind of wrapped up together with Edge Impulse.
What's happening over there?
So this again is this is an IM SDK sample app here. This is again running on 6490. And this is just showing, hey, if we have 4 parallel camera streams and we're applying different AI algorithms all at the same time on the different streams. So just to give people an idea of the kind of performance and power that we can achieve with these platforms. And then, obviously using the Foundries platform to make it easy to manage all of that software.
And this is called the Robo platform? What do you call it?
So it's a Qualcomm Dragonwing RB3 Gen 2. Watch this space. There'll be more developer-friendly boards coming out later this year, we hope. We obviously understand that sometimes it can be difficult to get your hands on these boards. We're working actively to change that.
And these Unitree and all these companies making cool humanoid robots, maybe some of them are running Qualcomm.
I bet you a lot of them are, and you wouldn't know it. But yeah, there's a lot of robotic stuff. We actually have a whole ROS stack that goes on top of that too. So if you're interested in using the multimedia components that we have with the ROS stack, we offer that as well. Again, that's open on GitHub for download.
And what's the Active Edge?
So Active Edge. Hey folks, you want to be in a video?
Alex is going to do this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, Alex would be a good one to get on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are.
Be fluent about your stuff.
Yeah. So Active Edge Solutions here is a customer of ours. We've invited them into the booth to kind of talk through what their product's about and how they've used our technology to ship product. So. These folks have laid out their own hardware. They've ported the hardware changes to the factory, and then now they can manage these devices remotely.
Nice. How would you say Foundries IO is growing as being part of Qualcomm?
Yeah. So I mean, we obviously have the same mission still, right? And we want to still be able to have our customers support them in the ways they always have. Now we're growing in other ways where we're working on a lot of upstream software, almost like what we did at Lenaro. So again, in case anybody's not familiar, we spun out of Lenaro. So our background is in open source software, our passion is in open source software. We built Foundries as a platform so that we could help people using open source software deploy securely at the edge. And now our mission is changing slightly to help Qualcomm with that open source mission as we do Foundries and bring those two things together so that they can work properly in our platform.
And pretty much devices are updated forever because of your system.
Well, and that's the whole point of using upstream, right? Is that if we get it upstream and it's usable upstream, then we don't have to depend on vendor BSPs anymore for long-term support. We can use the upstream software and we can rely on that, and that's the end goal here. Because vendors say that they're going to support their software for 10 years, whether they do that or not,
What do we see here?
So this is Arduino Portenta X8 on their Max Carrier board here. So they're a partner of ours. This board runs the Foundries software, the Linux micro platform. This is an IMX8 Mini with an SE050 hardware security element. And so yeah, this is just showing that this device under management, and it works with their kind of Arduino cloud platform as well. So it's if you use an Arduino board, you probably don't see that it's Foundries, but it's also under the hood doing the management of the devices.
Cool. Do you have more and more colleagues now?
Yes, we're growing. If you're an upstream Linux kernel maintainer, or you work on like bootloaders, or you work on open source software, shoot us an email. We're always looking for passionate people to come work with us and help us on this mission, and help train and mentor other folks in the organization so they understand.
So now Foundries IO is bigger than Lenaro. I'm joking, but
no, I don't think we're anywhere close. I don't think we're any close.
No, but I'm joking because Qualcomm is a lot of people.
They are, yeah. No, there's a lot of people at Qualcomm. Obviously, they're very much spread out. There's lots of business units, right? So they're not all focused on these things, but this is like kind of our core goal and our core.
And what's the latest with Lenaro?
Lenaro. So we're working with them on OneLab. I think we're going to make an announcement about how they're using OneLab, the RB3 Gen 2 in OneLab. We obviously have a landing team with them, and we work very closely with them. I'll be at the Lenaro Connect in Lisbon, Portugal in May. So come check that out. We're going to be doing demos there as well on some of the platforms that we have here.